Hello everyone and welcome. If you open Davinci for the first time in your life, you're probably a bit lost. Yes, you can probably, I think, you can import some footage in here. You can maybe cut something in here, especially if you have some experience in Adobe Premiere or Final Cut. But once you get to the Fusion or color page and you're totally confused what is happening with those nodes, you're gonna go to YouTube to find some tutorials. And unfortunately, I couldn't find any tutorials that cover Davinci Resolve from start to end. Of course, there are a lot of tutorials that cover some of the Fusion features, some of the color features, especially color, because this is the holy grail of Davinci. It's color page. But I couldn't find free videos that would cover Davinci from beginning to end. So this is what I'm trying to create here. Complete beginner's tutorial, beginners. So it will be for beginners, maybe some intermediate stuff. For advanced users, there will be videos, but there will be later. So this is beginner's tutorial. If you have no idea what to do in here. So we're going to cover during these tutorials how to import, organize your footage, how to cut it. This is a quicker way to edit a bit. You're going to learn about that. You're going to learn how to edit all of that, how to add visual effects, maybe some animation. And of course, color grading. You're going to spend a lot of time in color grading. Then we're going to cover a little bit of Fairlight, which is working with sound. And finally, we're going to get to export, which is deliver page. I'm going to tell you all the settings that I find optimal. And I'm going to tell you what to do if you want to export footage with the least amount of compression or with the least amount of space that it's going to take. I'm going to cover all of that. But first, why do I recommend and also use Davinci over some different software tools like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut? Why is that? And for that, I really have three reasons. The first one, it's of course Davinci is free. And there are different versions of free out there from different companies, and usually they would give you like 7-day trial for free, or they're gonna give you like 10 to 20% of the software capabilities for you to try, and then you're gonna have to pay. And that payment, as you can see up here from Adobe Creative Cloud, is gonna be like every month. It is a subscription-based payment, which I hate. I want to purchase something and have it. I do not want to pay for it every freaking month, because it's getting more and more expensive. Expensive? It's getting... You get the point what I'm talking about, yeah? So, and Davinci, what Davinci does, it's gonna give you 80 to 90% of the software capabilities for free. And if you're really interested in some professional work and you wanna have those effects, you wanna have this noise reduction tool, then you're gonna have to purchase the complete studio version. And this is one time in life purchase. For example, if you purchase like the version 14, you're gonna get the version 15, all the tools that are in there, the version 16, the version 17, and everything that's going to happen in the future. You're gonna get that for that price for free. And this software costs like $300. But, and this is the second reason I recommend this software, you can get it for free. If you purchase one of their cameras, Pocket 4K, Pocket 6K, 6K Pro, it doesn't really matter, you're gonna get this software for free. Those cameras are really great at the prices. For example, Blackmagic 6K Pro that I have here, somewhere in here, it gives you 6K 12-bit RAW capabilities and all of that for $2,500. By the way, I'm not sponsored by Blackmagic, so this is just my opinion. And those are really great cameras really. The closest competitor is like Red Komodo for $6,000, which is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is like 2.5 times more money, right? Right. And additionally to that, you're gonna get this software for free, which I remind you, and this is reason number 3, that this color page is industry standard. Maybe other pages are not, but the color page is definitely industry standard. If you've seen any Hollywood movies coming like from Blade Runner to Dune to Batman, all of them were color graded in Davinci. And even if they used something different, like different tools, not Davinci, you can achieve all of that easily. Maybe not easily, but you can achieve that inside of Davinci. I'll show you how to color grade 8-bit non-lag footage in Rec 709. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're gonna learn that too. You're gonna learn how to color grade the most like expensive footage coming from Arri Alexa, coming from Red Epic, Red Weapon. Doesn't really matter. Those footages, they have different approaches to them, and we're all going to cover during these tutorials. Okay. So those are my 3 reasons why I would recommend you learning how to use Davinci. Let's assume that you've decided to use Davinci free version or studio version, doesn't really matter, but you've decided, you made your decision. I'm sorry. Yeah, you made your decision. How do you find it and how do you install it? If you haven't already, go to Google, of course. Why not? And type Davinci. Very useful tutorial out here. Bear with me, it's gonna get more interesting. What is happening with my nose? Okay, Davinci Resolve 18 Blackmagic design. Click in here, you're gonna get the same page that is in here. Doesn't matter, I can close this, work in here. And you're gonna find immediately Davinci Resolve free download. If you want to download it for free, just click in here. And on the left side, you're gonna find Davinci Resolve 18 beta or 17. If you have a huge project lying ahead that requires a lot of stability from software, choose Davinci Resolve 17. If you're just learning, just choose Davinci Resolve 18 beta and choose your OS, Mac OS, Windows, or Linux. Just click and it's going to download. You're gonna need to register first, but it's okay. It's going to download to your PC or your Mac or whatever the hell you have for as your computer. But if you want to, and you have already studio version of Davinci and you want to download it, it's a little bit tricky, because if you click right in here, and it's going to send you to buy a new version of Davinci. But if I, for example, already have it, there is no button to push for Davinci Resolve Studio, right? So you're gonna click Davinci Resolve free on the right side of your window. You're gonna find Davinci Resolve Studio 18 beta, which I'm using right now, and Davinci Resolve Studio 17. By the way, the difference between free version and studio version right up in here includes everything that is in the free version, plus Neural Engine. I'm gonna show you how to work with it. Stereoscopic 3D tools, we're gonna get to that too. Dozens of extra Resolve effects, filters, and Fairlight effects audio plugins. Advanced HDR grading and HDR scopes. Do you need all of that? Probably not if you're not professional. Even I'm going to teach you all about Davinci, and I do not really use many of those tools. And especially for Neural Engine, you're gonna have to have a really powerful PC or Mac or whatever you have. So once you've downloaded, once you installed everything you're needed to install, and I mean Davinci, you're gonna close that, don't save, and open Davinci once again, and you're going to be welcomed once this thing is done by the project manager. I'm going to tell you all about project manager. So this is the project manager, As you can see, there are a lot of projects in here that I created before. And if it is the first time you open Davinci Resolve, you, of course, are not going to have those. In order to create a new project, you're going to need to click right here, New Project, or Untitled Project. It's difficult to pronounce. Okay, but there is a minor difference. If you click New Project, it's going to give you this window, and you're going to have to come up with the name, tutorial, something like that, and click Create. But if you double click in here, it's going to open all of those pages, and once you save your project, you're going to give it a name. A minor difference, but you're going to need to know about that. The way everything looks in here can be changed. The first way you're going to do that is if you have some trouble visions, you have some glasses, and you need it to make it a little bit bigger. You're going to use this slider in here to make it bigger. If you're like irritated by all of the pictures and you remember every project by a name, you can use this thing that is called List View and view everything as a list. Cool? Yeah, cool. I prefer to use it as a thumbnail view. Also, you can display additional information about your project, for example, resolution, last time you edited it, and all of that. And to be organized, you can create a folder to throw some of your projects in there. To do that, you're going to right click in here, create new folder, or you can click in here, add folder. For example, I've got a folder that is called junk, and I can just drag and drop any project in that folder, and it's going to be living here. It's going to live in here. As you can see, you've got local network and cloud in here. Why? Depending on your project, if you're working with like many people, for example, I'm doing all of the editing, the other person is doing all of the color grading, the third person is doing all of the effects, then you're going to have to select either a network if your PCs are connected, or the cloud. But first I think you need to purchase the cloud or register. I have no idea. It is totally new thing that came with Davinci Resolve 18. So I work alone. I have no idea how to use it. So I'm gonna have to find a different tutorial for that. Also, if you click right here, you're gonna learn that there are different databases in here. What is a database? All of these projects are stored in a local database. If you want some of your projects to be stored somewhere else on a different hard drive, you're gonna need to create a different database project library. Or if you're just took some database from a different PC and you want to connect it to this Davinci, you're gonna use this connect, you're gonna use this connect to connect a different database to here, and just use this browse function, or to create a different library database. Yeah. And what else? You can rename many of your projects. Right click, rename, 4K resolution can be renamed to just 4K as quickly as that. There is also a very useful function in here that is called open in read-only mode. What does it mean? If you do not want, you are afraid that you're gonna change something within this project, and the project is very important, you're gonna open it in read-only mode. This way you can view your project, but you cannot change anything. You can import, export projects. I'm gonna talk about that in like intermediate or advanced stuff. We do not really need to cover that in here. You can cut, copy, delete, backup your project, all of that. And there is a very interesting function in here that is called load project settings to current project. What is it? For example, we'll open a project. Oh, mamma mia, not the prettiest look. We are opening a project and we want all of the settings from a different projects to be copied into this one. So we can open a project or project manager from here, from the main area. We just need to click this house button and it's going to open project manager. And for example, we want to copy all of the settings from this 4K project. Right click, load project settings to current project. All of the settings from 4K project will be copied to the Sigma project. This way you can save a lot of time. To save your project, there are many ways you can do this. For example, file, save project, which is Control S. I use Control S all the time. Or save project as, Control Shift S. Never really do that. Or you can go to Davinci Resolve Preferences, and by the way, those preferences will be covered in a totally separate and different video. Right now I'm going to show you only one feature. There are two settings in here. System and user. We're gonna go to user, we're gonna go project save and load, and we're gonna check this live save. What it's going to do, it's going to save our project automatically. Once the change is done, it's gonna save it, and so on. So if we, for example, forget to do that by Control S, nothing is going to vanish. In different software tools, in different softwares like Premiere, I typically use manual save because I do something as experiment. I do not want to save it, and then I just go back, and sometimes you close your Premiere and go back, and you cannot unwind all the changes that you've done because they stored somewhere, or probably in the RAM, or I have no idea, frankly speaking. So typically I use manual. I just disengage, just remove this live save. But actually Davinci has a very interesting feature. If we do something experimental and it gets saved and we do not really want that, we can open file and go to this line, revert to last saved version, and it's gonna undo all of the changes, experimental ones that you've done, and gonna go back to the previous version that has been saved. Very neat, very useful feature. So what has I covered, what has I not? Changing view folder, saving projects, project backup. Yeah, we've got the same feature in here, like project backups every 10 minutes, every hours, daily. Do not really use that. I do not have so important projects that I need to back up several times. Yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this episode. This is just an introduction. Yeah, what the hell is that word, introductory? This is just an introduction. So we're gonna cover in the next episode, we're gonna cover the settings and everything that is happening in the media page. So subscribe, because every Tuesday and every Saturday you're gonna get a next episode of this tutorial. Thank you for being here, and see you.